Hey there, welcome to day 23 of playing chess every day until I reach 1500 Elo. Currently we're at 11-11 from a win that we got yesterday. And let's go ahead and hop into a 15-minute game here. Oh, it's putting me up against a guy who's only 986. That's really low. Okay, he just aborted that. That's fine, because I would prefer to play against someone who is a little bit higher rated. Here we go, 1057 from Norway. Looks like he's going for like the like Karo Khan setup or the slab or whatever. It seems like it's pretty popular to just play that against everything for white, which is pretty much what I do. Yeah, what he's going for. Just gonna do the regular London moves. I think since he plays c6, that one's a little unusual, I think. But since he played c6, I think it's good to play c4. Do I want to get my knight out first? Let's probably do this knight first. Wait, is there a tactic here? Go like that, take. No, because he can block the check with the bishop here. But he did open up potential tactics on this diagonal. Okay, he's pushing a lot of pawns. So I think it might be good to do this. Let me see, he could go here. Let's go ahead and develop. Oh wait, I played c3. I was actually meaning to play c4 earlier. I was going to do c4 and then knight here. But because I did c3, I think I'd go knight here. Unless I want to use an extra move to play c4 now. Let's just go knight here. Shouldn't make that big of a difference. Okay, so I think I'd like to go here. You can't go to any of these squares. You can go here, and I'll be able to trade off the bishop for the knight, his bishop for my knight. Or if he stays on these squares, then I can do the same. If he goes here, I could also push the pawn. Then he'll have to move back to one of these squares. Then I can take, if that seems better. Let's go ahead and start with that. Then maybe I can get the queen over here. Pressure this. The rook can't protect because the bishop is watching there. So he would need to guard the pawn with his queen, or maybe push it. Interesting. It seems like I could just double a bunch of his pawns. If I just take here, or if I take here first, then he takes, then I take here, then he takes. Then he has 2 sets of doubled pawns. So, okay, he pre-moved both those. Not sure what he was going for. And now I think I can go here and win this pawn. And he doesn't have a way to block, so he'll just have to move. So, I don't know, his position I don't think is looking very good. So let's do that. So, he goes here, I go here. I don't have any other good checks or anything. I need to develop my other pieces to get involved. Yeah, I think I'll just go ahead and take it. Maybe let's get the bishop here, push this pawn, and try to open this up with some checks. And then try to castle and get the rook on this file. Okay, he's triple protecting this pawn. So that probably would be hard to win. These pawns are both pretty protected. This pawn's protected. So I think just trying to open up the position is going to be my strategy here. Should I play this first? Take, take. Yeah, I'm threatening to win the pawn, so he kind of needs to take. Then I have this check. He can block it with the knight. Let's just do this first. Let's try to get the rook on this file. Castle. Seeing if there was something I could do with my knight. Especially since the rook is kind of trapped in the corner, but there's no way to... I mean, this square is protected, so there's no way to really do anything with that. So I think let's just castle. Make sure this pawn is guarded, since the queen is kind of eyeing it now. Although his bishop can't do much to get out of the way. I mean, it just can go back here. So, castle first. Then get the rook over, then push the pawn. Is it better to push this pawn? Still threatening to win it? Or no, I'm not anymore, because he has the queen guarding. Push this one, take, take. I like the... Yeah, that seems nice with the bishop opening up there. But this one seems better because I can get the rook right in line with the king. Okay, he's guarding that. Let's just push this anyway. And just try to open it up. And he is blocking off the defender of this pawn, so I am threatening to win it now. Since the knight blocks the queen. So it just has one defender and I have 2 attackers. And I'm going to have 2 attackers on the knight. So let's take back with the rook, 2 attackers on the knight. He has 2 defenders, but I can add a 3rd attacker here. That seems pretty powerful. And I don't know if there's a way for him to get a third defender, because this rook can't get over, the bishop can't look at the knight, and this rook is trapped in a corner. Do I take with this? I don't think so. I think I take with this. Now I think if he unpins the knight, he might be okay. If he goes here, it still is pinned, actually. Okay, now he does give himself the chance to get another defender, it looks like. I also have this check and can win this pawn because the knight's pinned. So the question is, do I want to try to triple up the attackers and win the knight? Or do I want to just go for that check and just take a free pawn? And then I'll be threatening to win this one with check as well. So that could be pretty useful. If I go here, he goes here. Could try to get the knight over, but I don't know how. Here. Now I can't see a way to get it in. So he would have 3 defenders. So let's just go for the check. And then take the pawn. Okay, so he goes ahead and defends that. Take the pawn here. He's not really threatening anything, he's just all playing defensive moves. If this pawn weren't here, I could threaten to win the knight with the pawn with the pin. But if I push it, this one will just take probably. Or the rook could take probably. Alright, he protects this pawn, but that means the knight is no longer protected. So if I could go here, then I'm attacking the pawn and the knight. Then here, then I'm definitely threatening to win it. Go here. And then here. If I go here, I'm pinning the rook. So then if I could walk the pawn 2 steps, then the rook is done for. So maybe let's go here. If the rook gets safe, if the rook doesn't move, maybe we try to go for this. If the rook does get safe, then we go for this, doubling up, tripling up on the knight once again. And we'll be, if the queen goes back to here to protect, then we take this pawn with check. So let's go back here. Oh wait, also, I have the second rook. I wasn't even paying attention. I can just double up with that. That's probably a better idea. Okay, so he only has 2 defenders. Let's try the pawn, pushing the pawn first and see if we're able to get him with that. Oh wait, no, does that work? Because I block my pin when the pawn goes up there, so never mind. It would have to be on this side to not block the pin. So if I push, he can go back. But once he goes back, he's not defending the knight, so it could still be useful. Let's just double up first. Double up the rooks. We have 2 attackers. We can get up to 4 attackers on this knight. And I don't think he can get 4 defenders. Oh wait, he is still protecting it here. I forgot that this square is looking at it. I thought he would have to go back to this one. Alright, he breaks the pin. So he has 3 defenders. I can repin it with this. Or with this. Go here first. Three attackers, three defenders, and there's the fourth attacker. If he does push this pawn, no, he can't. No, that one doesn't block. Never mind. Because all my pieces are protected except for this knight, which is hanging. So I don't want any kind of tactic where he forces me to take and can like take the knight or something. Okay. Three defenders, three attackers. What does this move do for him? Because it was already guarded here. Wish I could push this. Let's just line it all up. Okay. Oh yeah, he was able to get that last rook over there. Is there any way to get my knight? Let's see. Here. I could fork these two if I reroute my knight. And if I do take the bishop here with the knight, and then he takes with the king, then he loses a defender on this knight. But that's quite a few moves, so I don't know what else he'd be able to do in that sequence. That's 1, 2, 3 moves. Oh yeah, that's also forking the rook as well. Yeah, that's really powerful. If I can get my knight there, that'll be really good. Also, if there was any way to divert this pawn, then we just go here, and then we... Oh wait, no, because the pin is gone once again because we block it. So let's do the knight rerouting plan. See what we can get from that. We're up 2 points of material, and we're putting a lot of pressure on his position. And at the moment, our position is pretty comfortable. My king hasn't even been under threat whatsoever. All I need is 2 more moves to get the knight here. And then he'll be in trouble. I don't know what he could play in those 2 moves. If he tries to like threaten my rook or something, I just go back. His bishop is trapped back here. Okay, he does just threaten the rook. I could go back, or I could go here. No, I can't go here because then the bishop. And he did just open up his bishop as well with that. So that probably was a good move. Now he has a lot of attackers on this pawn, but he'd have to sacrifice the bishop. Let's make sure there's nothing there. Take. Yeah, no, I don't think there's anything. He would just have to give up material, and there's no check at the end. But let's just... I want to go back to here. And if he pushes again, I just go back up. And I'm threatening the pawn with check. So let's just go back 1. Because I prefer to be on this rank where I can move over here with the rook if I need to. Okay, well he blocked his bishop in, I could go back here, but then if he moves here, it reopens the attack. Is there any kind of sacrifice? No, I don't think so. Let's go here. Maybe bring the rook back up and threaten to take like that. Or I could like push this pawn or something. If he takes... I don't have a check because he'll be covering that square. Okay, let's just do the knight first. I also am potentially could check him here. Which, yeah, actually this is... I think this is maybe even better because it's more forcing. And because he's not covering the square over here. So the threat of that... If I take this, he takes... Or takes like that. Either way, he gives up one of his defenders of the knight. Now he could also move the knight. Can he? If he moves it here, he protects the rook because it's twice attacked. So yeah, maybe this square is good. And then we just trade. Okay, well I think because I'm threatening a check, this isn't a major concern. You can go check. Maybe he goes here or here. I take, he takes, or he could take like this. I think it should be okay. I could also do like take here, he takes. Then I do this. Take, take. And then I have 3 attackers on the rook. And there's no risk of the bishop getting taken by the pawn. Dang, I can't figure out which way is better. Do I do the check first? Then do that, but then he could just take the bishop, and I think that would be an equal trade. Whereas if I do this first, then he takes with the rook or something. Then he has 3 defenders for the rook, but if I go here, we take this, he loses a defender and I have 3 attackers. So I think it's better if we take first. Let's try it. See if the calculations were correct. Make sure there's nothing else. Yeah, no, I think just taking. So he takes, he has 2 defenders, I have 3 attackers. So we should win the rook, I think. Now we're up 7 points, so he probably could just resign. But let's see if he does. I think that tactic worked out pretty well. Like, we just kept pinning and pressuring him over and over. And then we finally got our diversion for the king with that check. Let's see. Now I don't really know what to do. I mean, like, I'm up all this material, but I don't know if there's like a quick winning sequence. I think I'll just go here. Or do I try to go back here? No, you don't want to hang the rook. I can go here. If he pushes this, we just trade it since we're up plenty of material. Just make sure there's no back rank mates or anything like that. That's going to be the main thing to watch out for. Okay. Go here. Look for checks. Let's just go here first. Double attack the pawn. I mean, I can let him take, or I can just push the pawn. If he takes, I take. He takes. It's still covered. It'd be nice to find a check where I can force him to trade queens. If I see one. If the pawn weren't here, I could do it right now. Because this would be a double attack. Okay, let's just take like this with tempo. Or I could take here and have a better passed pawn. I don't know. Let's just take with... Let me see, is there a way to trade the queen? Not quite. Just take like that. Now we can win this pawn. Okay, he's threatening the back rank mate, so definitely don't want that. I don't quite have this because the square is not protected, unfortunately. So let's just start with this. Good thing we didn't get greedy for the pawn and just take that. Because that did happen the other game. Okay, now he resigns. That was his last hope, was trying to go for the back rank mate. But yeah, that happened the other game where I lost a queen because I got a little too greedy for winning a pawn with a double attack like that. Alright, let's see the game review. I had a good accuracy, 84.9. He had 75.8. My game rating is 1700. His is 1250. He had one blunder. Which part was that? I can't remember what his blunder would have been. I'll have to go through and see. Also, the graph is really good. It's just like there's no big spikes back and forth. It's just a steady rise and then a solid advantage the whole way, which is what I like to see, because a lot of times the lower your elo is, the more just massive spikes back and forth you have, where both people make huge mistakes. Alright, let's see here. Oh yeah, it wanted c4 here, which I wanted to play, and for some reason I just played c3 out of a habit. But when they are doing like this bishop copycat and c6, c4 is the better move than c3. Because, what's the reason? I can't remember exactly, but I think it's because because the knight can't go here or something like that. Honestly, I don't remember, but c4 is a lot better. It wanted this knight move earlier than I played it, but we played it right after. And that was the blunder because the doubled pawns and all that. And then the check and then winning a pawn. Yeah, that sequence was pretty brutal. And then his king was just in the middle of the board. Okay, that check was only good. It wanted me to double the rooks. For some reason, I wasn't looking at the second rook at all. I was focused more on the queen. Inaccurate to do that. Oh, I should have just gone knight here. Yeah, that makes sense. Because then he has to move, and then I already would have been able to get enough attackers on this knight. Yeah, here he goes back somewhere. Although the only thing is that does block the square that I would have used to double up, but I could double up with the rooks. So yeah, I think it would have definitely been quicker to do that. It really wanted this knight move. For some reason, I wasn't considering that. I think because it was the square I wanted the bishop on, so I just didn't really. That's inaccurate. Wait, it wanted me to take first? How does that work if I only have 1, 2, 3? He has 3 as well. Let's see the follow-up. Oh, because he has to take with the queen at the end, and I still have a rook. So I get to win a little bit of material. Because my queen was not one of my attackers, so he has to give up a more valuable piece, even though he was able to defend the piece. Like, because the last one was the queen and then I get to take it, and then he takes with the king, I still won. I think it was just 1 point of material. I ended up winning 2 points later because I was up +7. So it ended up being even better than that. But if I did it that way, it would have happened a lot earlier. Wait, so was this all best? It was taking with the bishop? No, that was just good. It wanted the check first. Okay, I couldn't decide which way was better. Check first. It doesn't even want him to take the bishop. Oh, yeah, never mind. I was saying I already took it. I don't know what I'm talking about. It wants him to go up, then here. Then he takes here. Yeah, I was worried about this because I figured this just seems like it's like we're just trading everything off. Then he can take the queen. Okay. Then I take the other rook, so I guess that gets really complicated. Then I can win. No, I can't win that. Oh, I can win it, but it's for the queen. So he would give up the queen for both rooks. Okay, yeah, that was really complicated to follow that whole thing. So I think the way I did it made sense for what I could see, which was take first, and then we did the check. And then the game was pretty much over here. Oh, it wanted me to go for the check first here. And then the only other threat was the back rank mate, and we saw that and pushed the pawn. So we were good, and then he resigned. Now we're back to 11-18. So a little bit below the all-time high, which I think was like 11-21. I'm only going to play the 1 game for today, but I might be able to play 2 tomorrow and maybe grind up to like 11:30 or something, which would be cool. All right, thanks for watching. I'll see you guys on day 24.